DJI, they've been busy the last few years. They pretty much cover the space in terms of different types of drones you could buy, whether it's the affordable compact size DJI Mini series or the Air series, which is more of that mid-range segment. There's a drone for everyone. They cover the gamut, like I said, but one area that they kind of haven't really focused on was in the professional range, the high-end space. And that brings me to this video, guys, the DJI Mavic 3. It's real, it's here, and it's probably its best one yet. Hey guys, it's John Velasco here with Digital Trends, and this is my quick hands-on video review of the DJI Mavic 3. There's a lot to unpack, obviously, but there are 4 things that really stood out for me. But before I get started in this video, guys, I want to ask you, what's most important to you in a drone? For me, it's a combination between portability and features, which is probably why the DJI Mini 2 still is my favorite drone. Let me know what's yours in the comments below. The first big thing you gotta know about the DJI Mavic 3 is the 20 megapixel camera on board. It's a Hasselblad dual camera system, a 4/3 CMOS sensor, so a fairly large sensor on a drone, and it's capable of shooting video at 5.1K at 50 frames per second, and also 4K at 120 frames per second. But in my test, the firmware that I was running, it was only able to top out at 4K at 60 frames per second. Now, the Hasselblad camera system provides the best of both worlds because instead of having 2 flagship drones like what we saw in the Mavic 2 series before this one, we now have just a single drone that could do it all. That's because it has a telephoto lens with a 28x hybrid zoom. So when you use the drone, it starts off with the main camera, and that gets you to a digital zoom of about 4 times, but it's when you get to 7 times zoom, that's when it switches to this telephoto lens, and it actually delivers sharper looking clips out of it. It's actually quite usable, but if you kind of push that beyond 7 times zoom, even up to that 28 times, that's when you start seeing some grainier and fuzzier looking footage. Despite that though, the overall results look wonderful, especially if you have some high contrast scenes where there's a lot of lighting mixed in with some shadows. You have great dynamic range, and there's a lot of information stored in the footage so that in post with your video editor, you can help to draw out those details. But out of the drone, the results look pretty spectacular. It's evenly balanced, nice natural colors, not too oversaturated. The next thing you should know is that you have a smoother, safer flight. That's because you have the same controller as before. We've seen the last few drones from DJI, but what makes the Mavic 3 safer is because it features omnidirectional obstacle sensors around it with APAS 5.0. That means it's better equipped to sense what's in front, behind, its sides, and even the top and bottom. There's also ActiveTrack 5.0, and I like it because it allows you to easily choose a subject and track it on its own. You get a top speed of just under 47 miles per hour in sport mode. One of the big upgrades for me here is DJI's O3 Plus technology. It was previously called OcuSync. This is basically the technology behind the transmission between the drone and the controller, so what you see on screen is in real time, and they've improved it tremendously here because now you have a frame rate of 60 frames per second at 1080p, and what you're seeing on your smartphone as you're piloting the drone is incredibly smooth, so that translates to really good controls. The return to home function is also smarter, more efficient than ever before. So if the battery is running low, or if you just simply want to return the drone, the Mavic 3 will automatically determine the shortest, safest, and also the most energy efficient route back to its home point. I like this, especially if you haven't flown a drone before, or if the connection somehow disconnects, the drone will always land itself safely. I like it that you could fly the Mavic 3 for far longer than other previous drones in the lineup. You get 46 minutes of flight time with a single charge, and if you get the Fly More combo, you get a total of 3 batteries for even extended time. You also get a maximum range of 15 kilometers with the transmission thanks to the O3 Plus technology in play. So that means you can count on the transmission to work even farther. Now, I really didn't put that range limit to the test, but still, when you think about it, 46 minutes of flight time is pretty impressive, given that you're gonna have more time spending on covering whatever you want without having to swap out batteries frequently. And yes, you could charge the battery via USB-C, which is handy, especially if you're traveling on the road. No longer do you need the dedicated charger. You just connect the drone to a USB-C charger, and that's it. This last thing that I'm going to talk about is probably going to surprise you, but you really need to know. Not only did DJI make its best pro-level drone in the Mavic series, but they also made one of the best drone bags ever, because not only does it look sweet, but also converts into a backpack. You get space for the drone, the accessories, controller, and the batteries, and it's made out of this really tough fabric material that I like. If you need even more space, you could convert it into a backpack to fit your clothes, laptops, and other gadgets. And for me, someone who really loves backpacks, different types of backpacks, especially camera gear backpacks, I love the versatility that this offers. So the DJI Mavic 3 starts at $2,200 for the standard version, while the Fly More combo will set you back $3,000, but that comes with the bag, 2 extra batteries, and ND filters. There's also the Mavic 3 Cine Premium combo that I really didn't talk much about, but it adds support for Apple ProRes video recording. You get 1 terabyte of internal storage, and it comes with the DJI RC Pro controller. Now that drone is for the serious drone user. All right, so that was a lot to unpack, obviously, but the question is, who is this drone for? Well, the DJI Mavic 3 has so many features, obviously, but I think it's for the user that's really serious about their videography and photography. They want to get the best results, best quality with a lot of features. This is for them, especially when you consider how much versatility it offers with that telephoto lens and all of DJI's shooting modes. You could make some really cool content without a lot of effort. And that is it for my quick hands-on video review here of the DJI Mavic 3. If you guys want to learn more about any of the stuff I talked about in this video, you could check out our website, digitaltrends.com. I'm John Velasco, and I'll see you in my next video.